Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. We are here to play some Dragon Age, and we are so excited for you to be here with us. It's crime time, as everyone's been yelling today in our Discord and Zoom call here, and we're going to be getting started in just a minute, but before we do, I'll go and talk about what we've got going on this channel this week. I believe our next stream will be tomorrow. They will be returning to... Are they returning to Squire Squad tomorrow? Or are they doing...
Yes.
Is that the plan? Okay. Saw in the chat that was the plan, but I wanted to make sure. So yeah,
All
tomorrow...
extremely excited.
Tomorrow will be the return of Squire Squad. I'm playing some masks at 7 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. So come join us for that. Otherwise, our schedule this week should be normal with our normal lineup throughout this week and weekend. If you want to know what all those streams are, look below our faces, scroll down a bit, and you can see a full lineup of all of our shows live here on Twitch every day. If you're watching over on YouTube, some point in the future, you can check out our Twitch page and see whatever we're doing now, because who knows what that'll be. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and let my lovely players here introduce themselves so we can get started. And we'll start with Van.
My drink splashed up on my glasses. Now I have a wet spot on my glasses, and it's really bothering me. Hi, everybody. I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth when I'm not frantically cleaning my glasses. I am on Hive Social and Instagram, and mostly just hanging out in the GGK Discord, complaining about work and posting memes. Yeah, I run one game on this channel, Dungeons and Dragons, Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the Winterlude, baby. Come hang out with the Strixhaven 5 as they visit each other's hometowns and get up to shenanigans and try to set their friends up with hotties. That's really what it is, and I love it. And I play in some other games on this channel, and then on Sunday nights you can find me on twitch.tv/lbhackema playing Monster of the Week. But tonight I am playing Venehn, who is an elven rogue. Definitely the only one in the party.
I think I'm next. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on, well, all over the internet at Greek Sid. I am here Thursdays through Mondays. I run our game Monster of the Week on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Eastern. We are in the final stages of a mystery, our final mystery for this season. It's getting good. Come check that out this Thursday. Tonight, I am playing Yasmera. Yas is a Kunari rogue, and I think she's like one of like 5 in the party. Yeah, that sounds right.
Sup, y'all, it's me, Wally, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet. You can find me on the socials at WALLE132, just like the cute little Disney robot, talking about whatever my hyper-focus is this week. This week, it is about One Piece, because holy fuck, the chapters were good this week. You can find me on this channel playing games every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. They talked about it earlier, so I'm not even going to say the names of the game. But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can find me another bunch of other stuff too, so follow me on the socials to find out what I'm doing. Today, I am playing Garas, the only elf rogue in the party.
Hey everybody, I'm John Cita. You can find me on the internets at Mr. Wilt. You can find me on Instagram at john.cita. Check out the yummy foods that I make. You can also find me here every Monday at this time, so that's really easy to remember. Enjoying the shit out of playing this game with these wonderful people. You can also find me buried in your couch cushions, kind of stuffed back. You have the back ones that don't disconnect. They're like part of the couch. Kind of you get stuff tucked underneath there. That's also where you can find me.
Wally,
Tonight,
check back there. You just pull Sita out. I think he's stuck.
how crazy would that be if I just also emerged?
We would have to stop the stream.
We would.
We would be flagged for like horror on some capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. So tonight I will be playing Carter, He is a human billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, and the only one in the party.
Just to be clear, not the only playboy, the only billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Hi Val. Hi everyone. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown looking around the internet. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing running games. Other than this game, I run our game Award 47. We just had a season 1 finale of last Saturday, and we're going to be getting into our next season here in this coming week. Just heading right into it.
Ward 47 Shippuden.
Nothing
It was
terrible
terrifying.
happened last week. Nothing terrible. I don't know why they're making those faces. But yeah, tonight I'm running this game. Are y'all ready to get started? Previously on Red Jenny, we had some lovely downtime last week. We started with a nice conversation after your recent misadventures with Arlo, sort of debriefing and planning the final leg of your heist at the Winter Palace in Halam Sharal. You talked about needing to get some. He told you to get yourselves ready. The ball will be in 2 weeks. He would arrange transportation, and all you need to do is any preparations and getting any attire you might need for the event. And then we had a couple of intermittent scenes as well. Garas had a nice chat with Lucia in disguise, went and found Lucia praying at the Grand Cathedral, where Garas learned that Lucia had been sort of excommunicated from the Templars and was currently without lyrium. After a pretty rough conversation with Lucia, her blaming you and your group for a lot of her woes currently, you did confirm, or you did convince her to join your group, and she did, with the understanding that she would be paid for it, and that she would get to punch you a few times, essentially. And so that was all in agreement, and you've added a new friend to your party. Carter took Venn on a lovely evening date to the plaza, where Carter, who has now returned to his normal self, or at least his emotionless self, has sort of reminisced on his first date with Eggert, and talking a little bit about his difficulties and offering to share some of that with Venn as well. So the two of you had a lovely heart-to-heart, a nice dinner, and a wonderful evening. Yaz went to deliver a message to her mother, and was surprised when Null, a Ben Hassaroth spy, met her instead. Seemed to be waiting for her. Null had heard a little bit of what happened at the tower and wanted the story from Yaz, and then essentially forced Yaz to take on a job under threat of essentially kidnapping and being brought back to into the fold. Yaz firmly sort of argued that she is not one of the group and not bound to their rules, but Null didn't seem to be having it, and offered a job to Yaz that during this meeting, during this gala at the Winter Palace, there was going to be a meeting between some of the Grey Warden leadership, some Orlesian commanders, and the Empress, and wanted Yasmera to spy on this meeting and report back. Yaz, of course, true to herself, demanded pay, which she received part of upfront. Venn went home to talk to Lady Richelieu and met a rather chipper-looking Amara along the way, and also brought her his patron into kind of into the know, talked about what had happened at the circle, and Lady Richelieu laid out a plan that she had for Ven's next activities that wanted Ven to make sure that he took one of the blades that was stolen was from the youngest member of the Royal Guard of the Empress's arm, Adenin Remy, and needed to plant evidence that to make it look like Remy was leveraging his new position for favors for his family, and that Adetta would need to be blamed for the theft, so that looked like he was selling these blades for his own gain. The Lady Richelieu further explained that her goal was for House Richelieu to replace the House Remy and their position and sort of familiarity to the imperial court, and that part of this would be having Amara stationed as one of the new royal guards. Ven, after getting this deal, offered to congratulate Amara with some champagne. There was a little bit of back and forth in which Amara lamented about how much she despises Ven, and then invited Ven back to her room for a little bit of hate banging.
He grows on you
Yeah,
like a fungus.
like a fungus. Yeah.
Like a big old thing of kudzu. Just keep growing and growing and overtake you.
Yeah. So that is not exactly there, but after that is what we are going to pick up today. That is definitely a fade to black. Happened in the meantime. I imagine we get a little scene of Ven sneaking out being thrown out, barely clothed in sometime in the evening.
Shuts the door, reopens it, chucks his boots back at him.
Yeah,
Closes it
one
again.
knocks you in the forehead.
I'm going to take that as a win.
So I just wanted that scene. But what else do we want to get up to before the job starts? If there was any other preparations or anything else you wanted to do before the gala, the ball.
Concealable.
Oh, everyone talked.
Oh, yeah. Everyone has something.
I want to pay for some sort of small, foldable, concealable, stretchable, foldable, squeezable, crossbow.
Okay. Sort of like one of those like sleeve crossbow, like sleeve pistols that they use in the movies when extend. Okay. Yeah, I think we could work something out. Something like that's probably going to be it's going to cost a pretty penny. I was looking for what the cost of a normal crossbow is. I didn't have this ready. Where's equipment? Specializations. It's under character creation, maybe. Yes, equipment.
Starts on 77.
I was way off.
Crossbow. $77. 20 silver.
It's 20 silver. Okay. It's gonna cost you 100 silver.
Bring that to the group.
It's so much smaller.
What does it does it actually do anything? You know, does it kill someone, or is it just like a distraction kind of thing?
Do you wish to try it out right now?
You were going to shoot me with it anyway, even though I said no.
Yes, pretty much. No. Yes, it will actually do some damage if necessary. I really hope it won't be necessary, and if it is, we'll probably fucked anyway, but hopefully it'll help us get out of there at the very least.
It's definitely a last resort kind of thing.
Not restricted to this job either. I do want to point out that I have already paid Lucia her salary out of my own funds, so just putting that out there as well.
Are you saying that this part of the whole like sum total of our annual?
I'm saying you specifically, Garas, fucking owe me.
All right. Don't worry, I'll pay you back. I'm good for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm good with it. Don't worry.
Turns away from Garas, looks at the other two. So are we amenable to me taking this out of party funds?
Oh yeah, I think it's a great idea.
All right. Party funds are currently sitting at 368 silver.
It's pretty good.
That's a good amount. Don't worry about me paying for any clothes or anything like that. I have my own way of taking care of that kind of stuff that I need for this event.
Good, because your clothing allowance has already gone through 3 months from now.
I just like silk shirts.
Yeah, and you can light them again in 3 months.
Fine.
Well, if you'd stop bleeding on them, you wouldn't have to replace them so often.
I know, but hey, it's part of the job. It comes with it, you know. Sometimes I get stabbed, sometimes I bleed a lot, you know, and it messes up my shirt.
Cool. Buy a mini crossbow. Is it
Okay.
the same stuff as a
I'm gonna
regular
say
crossbow?
it's I'll give you the same damage. The range
Okay.
is gonna be greatly reduced, though.
Okay.
That is the payoff. There is that. I'm gonna say you'll probably because the regular
it's
range
30,
is 30.
60 right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that at 10:30.
10:30. Okay, cool.
So it's much more up close and personal. But that's sort of what you'd expect for something like that. So
That's fair.
anyone else?
Me.
Yes.
I'm going to do some forgery.
Forgery? Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably get Yaz to help me with this.
Okay.
But I want to just try to... I don't remember the guy's name that I'm supposed to be framing.
Aden and Remy.
Yeah, that one. I'll definitely remember it.
Mhm.
I just want to, just forge... I don't know, just a letter from a big noble house that I don't like to him, insinuating that if he can do
Okay.
stuff for them with his position in the guard, that they could make it worth his while,
Okay.
that
So
kind of thing. Maybe
nothing
because I don't want something that would be imminently traceable.
Yeah.
Like a ledger or something, but
Like a veiled letter, like a coded
and just
letter.
enough to
Point suspicion.
make him seem guilty, but not something where they can go through the books and be like, okay, well, we didn't actually spend this money, so obviously this is fake.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That would be pretty easy. I wasn't sure if you were going to go that way or forging something that in his own hand, in which case you would need a sample of his handwriting.
No, I want something that would have come to him, I think.
Okay. Sure.
Because if
I-
he still had it, the idea being if he still had it on his person or in his things, then obviously he wasn't just oh fuck you and threw it in the fire. He's obviously at least considering it. So
Okay. Yeah, you
Are
can.
we trying to slip this on him at some point in the evening?
no, I think I'm just gonna leave it somewhere important
Okay.
where someone might find it.
Okay.
Because we could try to slip it on him too.
We
We're
could.
about to-
That's true. Can I make more than one?
Like a reverse
Sure.
pickpocket.
I mean, if you're doing one, you could do a
Let's
couple.
do a couple of different
The-
ones.
The quantity won't be the issue. It's more of the language and the.
That's why I go, okay, Yasmera.
Yeah. So that's going to be the difficulty of doing this, is making something that strides that line, if not haha, look at me, I'm so good at crime, but also something that is not so obscure that nobody is gonna
But it's not
make the
suspicious.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I make
feel
up
like
a fake cipher and just put they're just like, it's just like Dalish bullshit, but just put like some random symbols at the bottom,
okay.
like a code.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything, but
Yeah.
it says ham sandwich.
ham.
Says
It says
there's
a slice of cheese pizza.
there's a bomb in lasagna.
So I was looking at what check this would be. I thought it was funny. I just read this for deception. Deception is defined as lying to and tricking those less mentally adept than you. I like the specification there that you cannot deceive somebody who's smarter
Who's
than
like
you.
way
How
smarter
am
than
I
you.
doing it so well?
So
We haven't been reading
I'm
the
gonna
book.
start. I'm gonna start asking for that now. If
Well,
you're
see-
trying to lie to somebody, I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna compare cunning scores, and if they're smarter.
Well, I
than
think
you,
it has to
not
be
gonna
like,
happen.
is this a lie that they would know about, right?
Yeah, no, it's. I thought I'm not gonna start doing that. I just thought that was
That's
funny.
amazing.
Well,
that
Yasmera's way
was
smarter
funny.
than me, so
So I was either
it's a better
thinking
lie.
I was either thinking a communication deception role. I was kind of probably more leaning to like cunning writing.
I have
Okay.
communication
Which is-
deception.
Cunning writing is expressing yourself with the written word.
I have dexterity writing, which sounds the same.
Could I argue,
Uh-huh.
given her experience within her current trappings as well as her affiliations with the Orlesian University, a cunning cultural lore?
Ooh.
Okay, if you're specifically trying to maybe tie this into like a known like
Noble house.
I would pick
or
a.
criminal organization.
How big is this? Is the house that he's from? Is it one of the like the major players?
They would be up there. I would say probably the house of like a marquis, but not like to the level of like a duke or a duchess.
Okay.
Um,
So I would pick another house that like is around that same level that they've probably like dealt with before. So it's not just like completely. It wouldn't be like just completely out of the blue. Like, why would these two people be talking to each other?
okay.
It's like one of the other houses on that level. So we
Yeah.
just pick one
Okay.
and try to make it sound like some of their stuff, or try to like recreate part of the wax seal with a crest on it or something. I don't know. You know, something a criminal would do.
Like recreating the
Like a good
or just
criminal.
recreating it, like, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll allow cultural lore for the sake of trying to tie this into like instead of fabricating something, tying this into something existing.
Cool.
I help.
And I help. Okay, not bad, not bad. I did get doubles. I don't know if this is a social or role playing.
Yeah, this is a
thing.
role playing.
Can we
so that
put
would
some
go to-
flirtation in
Okay.
the letter?
Ooh.
Say you got a butt
Nine.
that will not quit.
So role playing stunts.
I draw a butt at the bottom.
So it's,
Draw a
it
butt at the
says
bottom says you know
17,
what.
Okay, 17.
And I got
was-
3 on the dragon die.
Sorry, Sid's
Okay.
trying to play Dragon Age.
We're just gonna ignore y'all and play the game.
And I'm just gonna draw a little, just some titties at the bottom, just some little titties.
Titties.
You're gonna do well. Flirt's a 4.
Damn.
Stunt, so you can't do a flirt
Can't draw like some tasteful lewds at the bottom.
unless you're doing that as a jest, which is 3 stunt points.
Who cares?
No.
Just draw them on there anyway.
Serious
Yeah.
Be
titties
part of the
only.
Yeah, I mean, so there's sway the crowd, and which would be like that would be sort of interpreting it as affecting more people than just whoever the
Reader is.
intended reader is. That might spread beyond the effects of that you're initially trying to get.
Ooh,
There's
how
and another
about-
thing you could weave something
and
else
another
in.
thing.
And
That's a
bon mot.
thought too. Not only sort of this deception, but we might, I don't know, we might be able to weave something else in there.
Okay. What else were you thinking about weaving
I
in?
don't know, maybe consulting, looking it over, being like, damn, I'm good. Kind of consulting then. I'm just like,
That's
well,
really good.
I have practice.
Okay.
I mean, is there just out of character? Eventually, we're wanting this to go good for House Richelieu. We don't want to get them involved in the letter necessarily. I don't know what we want, or I should say, who
Also
we want to fuck over.
send us lots of money. I mean, if you're
yeah,
going,
is there anyone else that
also,
we feel
Phil-
like fucking over right now?
Fill in the blank here with your social security number.
well, here's a couple little ideas that I can thread to you, knowing the kind of things that you're up to. Again, you could perhaps weave in something about, trying to, about them being directly opposed to House Richelieu, which might make them look like the victims in this situation.
That's kind of what I was
but-
thinking. I should know
or
those too obvious.
you guys were also trying to get a second blade during all of this. So you could potentially tie somebody else to this scheme if you wanted to do that.
That's true.
There are
I think
6
that's
members of the Empress's
Yeah.
arm that I gave
Be
you.
like, we're already in talks with Captain So and So.
If we
You
can,
all were planning on going after the captain?
I don't know what their fucking titles are.
Luther,
there's-
I don't know.
That was
Yeah.
just a
Destroy
that was
us.
just a general example.
So there's Captain Luther Stoiber, who, based on that name, I'll let you make assumptions on his kind of personality.
Yeah,
Gay.
you said 7
Yeah.
generations of the family have been in the guard, so I
Yeah.
don't know. They might be pretty solid. I don't know.
Then there's Tiberius Meminius, who is like second in charge. Cornelia Weiser is the third in charge. Dea Mikhail is fourth. Levia Lupina is fifth, and then Aden and Remy is sixth.
And they probably go after the bottom rungs first, right?
yeah, I was best because if we go higher up, it will cause a trickle down, and we will get caught. I feel like if we start
How
Yeah,
about number 4 then? How about Dia?
so not immediately the
Not
next
immediate,
person up,
yeah.
but somebody else who's
Yeah.
like less tenured on it, because it is done. But the seniority is based on tenure of the group.
So it doesn't look like they've just like tried to get the lowest hanging fruit. Like it'll look more
Yeah.
deliberate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
so you
hope
wanna
she's
weave-
bad. I hope Dia's a bad person.
I don't remember if I gave you all
Otherwise, I'm
information
gonna feel
on-
bad.
I don't think
I
we
know,
got
right?
any information on any of these people. We just know the names. We don't know like their
Dia
personalities.
actually started the Dragon Age equivalent of the ASPCA. Dia is no.
That's good. Venehn doesn't care.
Wow.
Then it's like fuck them animals. I don't care.
We're
Criminal.
learning.
Canon.
Venehn got
Venehn
upset and to
hates
let off steam went and
puppies.
murdered
Wait
somebody.
till Venehn hears about the griffins going extinct, and Ven's like, fuck that, I'm gonna go hunt some
I
griffins.
did that. That's definitely what I meant. You're not extrapolating at all.
Actively trying to drive creatures.
Oh,
to
No, I
extinction.
think Venehn doesn't really
basically the
care
same
if they're a
thing.
good person or a bad person. Venehn cares
Well-
about Venehn.
No, that's fair. Okay, so you
We'll
you
do
wanna...
it and another thing, and you know what? We'll do a little bon mot at the end.
Bon
Bon
mot.
mot.
Bon mot.
Bon mot.
Bon mot.
Affect people more
Louisiana.
Come
Okay,
on down
yeah.
to Beaumont, Louisiana.
Okay, cool. Yeah, to tie those things together, you craft a wonderful little blackmail letter and you have, if you wanted to craft 2 copies of it just to be safe.
Sure. If we get the opportunity to actually like slip it on him, so it's like more, damning on his person.
Okay, sure. All right, we that is done. What else, y'all?
I've got a quick little question, and I kind of want to pose it to the group and Arlo, because I'm going to go dressed as a noble and try to mingle and listen. And it's a question of whether it's riskier for me to come up with another identity or go as myself. Because I think that, Andros Philippe Bastille de Cartier is a minor enough noble that it would require a lot less lying on my part, but could also draw more attention to us. I mean, I think there's a good chance my real name could just go under the radar, but I'm also going to be walking
Yeah,
around.
I mean,
with
how
staff.
high was House de Cartier? Like,
Not very important. The only real notable thing about them is that they were on the near the border of Deventer, so they weren't really present in
Could
Orlais
we-
very much.
So could we split the difference, and could you say you're like one of your cousins or something? So it's not
You
like
could
you,
say your
just in
house
case
to
anybody does
Mhm.
know. But
so don't say
I think
you're
that's a good idea. Okay.
Carter, but somebody else.
just like swap out the first name.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if you pick one of your, I'll let you make up a name and say that's an actual relative of yours, and you can.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey
My
de
name is
Cartier.
Jack.
Joffrey.
My name is
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Bill de Cartier.
Big Bill de Cartier.
Soke!
Soke!
Okay.
Soke!
Soke!
Making only the time.
Soke de Cartier.
Soke de Cartier.
Got a little paper fan. Ma, it's hard to own land.
making
I'm from Beaumont, Louisiana.
only the most timely references here.
We've just been watching a lot of True
I know
Blood.
we have, and that's
It's
why
a
that's all
fun
I want to
show.
reference. But that's a 10-year-old show.
I don't care.
Okay.
This is my show.
All right.
We can say whatever we want.
So yes, Sita, you getting this back on the rails. Yes, Sita, you can do that.
Cool. I'm gonna look at some French names for a minute, and
Cool.
I'll get back to you guys on that.
Anything else?
Garas is going to go and get the things he needs for the event.
Okay.
So, Garas is one day before even going to the tavern. One morning, he wakes up early morning. He goes to the market, and he gets a basket, fills it up with fruit, some bread, and teas, various teas, and he heads to a very rich looking area of the city, but he's passing by all these fancy looking manors, and he approaches one manor that is I want to say maybe near the edge of this district, and the manor looks kind of really dilapidated, like it hasn't been taken care of in a while, and he just walks inside normally and goes inside and heads to a sitting room, and he goes, Father, are you awake?
I'm imagining a lot of draper or like furniture covered in sheets. A lot of bare walls, everything kind of having been sold in the a lot of the finery in here having been sold as you walk into the sitting room, and there is a small fire going currently, and a chair with its back to you facing the fire, and you can see a hand with a book opened, which shuts, and a voice from the other side that says, Garas, is that you?
Yes, it is, Father. I come, for your breakfast. I brought you some bread, and I bought you some fruit to eat today. And he walks around the chair, and he sets the basket down next to the chair that the gentleman is sitting in.
As you walk around the chair to put the basket down, with a flash, there is a blade pointed to your neck, and your father is sitting there with a short sword kind of extended towards you, and I would like you to make a well, how does Garrus respond to this situation?
Garas responds in a way of he twirls out his own dagger, but it's kind of not in a threatening, but like the way two people would like give like a really fancy handshake to each other.
So they like cross blades for
Yeah.
a second, like expertly. Okay. So no check right there for that. You can do that easy enough. You're not trying to like disarm. You're just matching blades, and a smile across the old elf's eyes as he looks up at you with a glint and says, "Oh, so you are not so out of shape, I see."
Oh no, I got beaten up recently to get me back into shape.
Looks over you and looking down at the food and says, "So you're doing well for yourself then," like using the point of the blade to lift up the edge of the basket to see like what's in the what foods you've brought.
Oh, I'm doing well. You know, little jobs here and there, you know, to make money, to get by. But no, don't talk about me. How are you doing today?
"No, I'm doing fine as I always am. Don't worry about me. I'm going to outlive you at this rate."
Father, you're not going to outlive me, you know. Maybe, you know, you will probably outlive me in a way of I'm not going to die soon or anything, but maybe... No, you're right. You probably will outlive me. The life I live is very dangerous.
You shouldn't disagree with your elders. If
No, I
say I'm going to outlive you, I'm going to outlive you.
He like reaches down, he like brushes his hair back and gives him a kiss on the forehead, and he starts to pour him some, like, to make some tea right there. Grabs, like, fills up a kettle and puts it near the fire to the water to heat up. Father, I would like to request something.
I think reaches into the basket, maybe like pulls out an apple or something and takes a bite out of it and says, "I should have known if you came here for food, you would be asking for something. Go ahead, ask whatever it is that you want.
I would like...
Squeeze what little you can left out of me and these old bones."
First of all, you're not that old. You're a fit, firm 66-year-old man. Okay, so
All right,
don't
now
say
you
that
are
you're
trying
old
to
and you
butter
have
me
old
up with
bones.
flattery. Okay, so what is it that you want?
But it worked.
You
I would
don't
like
know
the
that
family
yet.
sword.
No.
I would like... Please.
Do I look like a school teacher? Do you think saying please is going to change my mind? No, you can't have the family sword. What are you going to do? Sell it?
No, I will never sell the blade. No.
Listen, I don't know who
He
you are
pulls
getting
a
involved with at this point, and I don't know what you owe to who you owe it to. You've never been very good with money, throwing it around wherever you can. So I'm assuming you have great debts to people, and now you're coming to me to take the most precious item that we have to sell to the highest bidder.
I will be going to a party that may have people at it.
Well,
That
I assume
very
there will
fancy
be people
people,
at
and
it if it's a party.
It is of noble people. And
Why are you going to a noble person's party? That's not the
he
life
like
that we
pauses
live.
for a bit. I know, but I've been hired to be a bodyguard / escort for someone as we're going to this party, and I am going to be their social bodyguard, so I'll need the blade to not only fit into all the nobility there, but, you know, for protection.
He kind of gets a bit more serious as he looks up to you through his like graying brow and says, "So you have a job again? Like a real job?"
Yes, a real job.
Huh. That is a surprise.
Yeah, and I think this money will definitely help you out. It will help you clean up the place. We can open up the drapes again. You know, get some sunlight in here. You know, get some nice things in here again.
He reaches down below to the side of his chair and grabs the cane that is there and lifts himself up with it. cat. Oh wait. The
He grabs a cat. Get
There's totally a cat. There is totally a cat.
yeah, he takes the cat off his list. Go shoot, go hunt some mice or something. Lord knows there are Maker knows there are plenty around here. And he stands up, grunting a bit with his cane, and says, "Come on, follow me."
Follows him.
Says, "Besides the house, you know that the blade is the most precious thing that we still own.
I know. I'm fully
Probably
aware
have
of this.
debt collectors out here one day to take it, but
I will never let them. But if it is all the same to you, Father, I feel like this is a chance for maybe to clear your name. That is what I want to do with it. I would like to use it so at least I can try to clear your name, you know?
he continues to walk like back into one of the back rooms of the house, where there's a mantelpiece, and above the mantle, sitting on a pedestal, is the one thing that isn't covered up, but it's not covered in. There's not a speck of dust on it. Is this sword? Well, describe the sword to me. What does it look like?
The sword is a rapier foil. Not a foil, but like a rapier blade.
Rapier.
Yeah. And it is beautiful. It is like this. The shine on it is immaculate, and at the head of on the tip of the handle of this blade is this really well crafted like fox's head. Is at the tip, is like on the handle of the blade, and it's like kind of like facing forward. Kind of think of like Geralt's blade, where it has a wolf's head at the handle, but it's a fox's head instead.
Yeah.
Is it like a basket hilt?
Yes, it's a basket hilt. Yeah.
So very like ornamental.
Yeah, it's very ornamental, but at the same time, it looks like it's sharp. It is.
Yeah.
It's a very well crafted blade.
Yeah. He walks to it. He says, "This was the first. This was the first nice thing I ever bought for myself with my earnings, with my winnings. I built this house around this sword. This is the cornerstone to everything that we have."
It is, and I feel like that it deserves to be seen and be used.
He cuts you off a bit as something is tossed in your direction. Make a dexterity. I guess this would just be we'll go with dexterity acrobatics.
Okay.
On this. There's not like a reflex save on here.
I will say that is an 11 on the dice. Do I have dexterity? No, I don't. That would be a 16.
16? Yeah, you catch it as he tosses the short sword that he was holding towards you. You catch it by the hilt. It was a good toss. And in the second that you have sort of lost focus, and you look back up, and he, with more dexterity than you've seen him exhibit in years, spins on his heel with the family blade just balanced perfectly as he places one hand on his hip and enters a dueling posture. And he says, "You beat me, and you can take the sword."
Okay. If I beat you, I will get the sword. But also, I want your hat.
You're just going to take everything from me.
I
now,
just
aren't
want
you?
the hat, Papa. I just want the hat. It looks so nice, and I want to wear it tonight. That's all. But it's only if I win.
Fine. If you win.
If I win. And he takes the same stance as him.
All right. I want you to roll dexterity dueling. Do you have focus in dueling?
I do.
All right, perfect. Roll.
I just gotta say how much I freaking love Garrus's dad already. I think he might be my favorite character out of everyone.
I got the character direction from Wally, so I will give Wally the benefit of giving you that, because I got Anthony Zeppeli from JoJo as my inspiration.
Perfect.
Nice.
I got 2 3s and
It
a
does
2.
make Garrus Caesar, and I realize.
Yeah, it does. That is
The love of my life, Caesar
That is-
Zeppeli.
15. And
15?
I got should I use stunts also?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so I would like to use I would like to use defensive stance and stay aware. So I use the moment to make sure you're mindful of everything that's happening around you. Make a 11 perception test with the focus of your choice. If I succeed, the GM either makes you aware of the battlefield situation so far as that anything that has escaped your notice, or give you a +1 bonus to the next test you make.
Okay, so here's what happens. I think, because we're not doing a full combat encounter. It's just this one check. He immediately, as soon as you take your stance, he lunges forward, taking the offensive, thrusting, and he has the reach advantage here, because with you with the short sword, him with the rapier, there's a clear advantage in his favor as far as weapon. And you taking the same stance, immediately move to defensive as you're parrying each thrust with expert timing, given that you have trained with Lucia for the last week and a half, pretty much nonstop. And as he thrusts forward, you do notice one thing. Despite him bringing this offensive, you can tell there's one clear reason for it, and Garrus knows this as well. He's favoring his left leg and remaining on the offensive, and you realize in that moment that if with the right turn, if you parry at the right moment and catch him on his off foot, you know that he will probably not be able to stand. And I think you do that. You brush the blade to the side and immediately go for a thrust yourself. At which point he has to respond with a parry himself, but moving to his back foot, you see his leg sort of give underneath him, and he winces, losing his posture. And what I will give you the moment, and this is more of a role-playing choice, he looks at this moment like he is about to fall. What do you do?
Good boy roll.
Pick your dad.
The moment that he is about to fall, Garrus takes the short sword and does like a parry to like press the sword to the side, like knock it to the side, and then reach a hand out to grab his wrist before he falls over and like hold him there.
Okay, you catch him as he loses his back foot and begins to fall, and it keeps him from hitting the ground. As I think the family sword sort of falls to the side, clattering to the stone between the two of you as you catch him. And there's a moment where he like looks up at you with a bit like a bit of acceptance, but then there is another flash as from the hand on his hip, a dagger is pulled, and he presses that to your throat with a flash. And he clicks his teeth and says, Garrus, you'll never learn if you keep going easy on people, even your papa. That's fine.
Papa, you know I can't hurt. I don't want to ever hurt you. He like pulls him up into like a nice hug.
You hug him and he says, all right. And he kind of grabs his cane again and leans on that and says, even though I won, I will be the bigger man. And I had the knife to your throat. Do you want to try this again?
Okay, fine. You won, Papa. You won.
I will let you have the sword.
And the hat?
And the hat.
Thank you, Papa. And he
If you
gives
can
him-
find it.
Oh, I know where it's at. I know where it's at. And he gives him a hug, and he heads over to the fireplace, and he makes the cup of tea for him, sets it down next to the chair that he was sitting in, cuts up some bread and some fruit, makes a nice little platter, and helps him back into the easy chair. When this job is done, I promise, Papa, I'll be bringing you some money that you can fix up the place and make it nice and shiny again.
He sips the tea and kind of winces a little bit about and says, "Oh, it's so bitter," and reaches around looking for like a lemon or something to.
He pulls out a lemon and squeezes it.
He says, "I believe you. I believe you. Just bring it back in one piece, all right?"
I will.
All right, now get out of here. I've seen enough of your face already.
I love you too, Papa. And he heads deeper off into the manor to get his clothes.
Dad has a special friend coming over later, so you've got to clear out of here.
I do like you did say Easy Boy, and now I am imagining a fantasy Easy Boy recliner that he's sitting in. I imagine there is a stool in front of him that he keeps his leg on to keep it elevated. But yeah, you get your sword, you get your hat, and imagine Garas returns to the tavern looking pretty sharp.
Very dapper. He's wearing he's not wearing the outfit, but he has this top hat on his head that is it's gray, like silvery gray velvet that it always shines no matter where the light hits. It just has this nice sheen to it that just looks really, really beautiful. And like, it's almost as if someone was taking care of it, this hat specifically, for all this time. It was probably Garas because he just really likes this hat.
All
right, is there anything else?
As soon as Yasmera sees Garas in the hat. 4 months.
This is a family heirloom. This is not part of my allowance.
Always are.
Fine, 4 months. He puts it on his head and sits down at the table.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to do before getting ready, or should we proceed? Okay. So, the day before the day before the ball, Arlo gathers all of you with a few carriages in waiting to bring you and your belongings along with them as his entourage to the Winter Palace. And for the first time, and I imagine some time for most of you, or if not the first time ever, you depart Val Royeaux. Is this anybody's first time outside the city? I know it's not Ben's, and I know it's probably not Yaz's. So
I think so. Yeah, this is probably his first time outside of the city.
And then I guess Carter, you with your family living outside of Val Royeaux, you've definitely been. So yeah, I imagine it's pretty exciting. Garas leaving like Val Royeaux and the surrounding countryside for the first time. And the travel takes, like I said, a better part of like a day and a half, with you arriving in Halamsharal on the day or on the evening of the event. We're going to skip through some of the we're skip through the travel time. I'm not going to do a random encounter table or anything. If we were going by Dragon Age rules, there'd be like a bunch of bandits.
17 bears.
For no damn
Just
reason.
So many fucking bears. And then a bigger bear.
For no reason. It's just
all
bears.
the bears. It's bears all the way down.
I told you all to
Bears.
wrap up the food when we leave the
I
carriage.
do not understand how aggressive and horrible the bears and
The
Theta
bears
are.
are.
Like
I know.
I feel like there's a SpongeBob joke in here somewhere about the bearfish.
And
Just 17 bears and then one demon that keeps blasting you with frost and making you move very slowly. Don't even want to be here. I'm trying to leave.
Why are the demons and the bears teaming up?
I don't know, but they do. Because
And then you're
bears
trying to
are
kill
demons.
the bear and then you hit a nug by mistake and you feel really bad about it because they're just little guys.
Yeah.
And almost extinct. You arrive in Halam Sharal on the evening of the event as the sun is setting, and you get your first glimpse of this formerly elven stronghold, elven city. And you probably see one thing. I mentioned this before. This city is majority populated by elves, and not living in an alienage or in slums. There are well kept stone houses, well paved roads, full elven clans that are living and trading and existing here in the city in peace. And relative prosperity, but at the peak of the city, at what once would have been the sort of the stronghold, the crown jewel of elven society is the Winter Palace, a formerly elven castle that has been destroyed and rebuilt in true Orlesian style. Multi-storied, grand facade leading out from the front with grand staircases and hanging gardens of vines and seasonal flowers blooming along the exterior, balconies alit with braziers and tapestries with the Orlesian colors fluttering lazily in the winds. The starlight barely peeking out through the evening light as the sun sets over the horizon, and you see many people gathered outside to enjoy, and many carriages as many nobles and important figures have arrived to enjoy this event. So before we get any further, I want to introduce the rules for the Winter Palace event. This is going to operate a bit differently than anything we've done so far, and the reason for that will probably come apparent. You have your goals that you are trying to accomplish while you're here. Primarily, steal a blade, get out without being caught. You have set the additional difficulty to get a second blade. And then a few of you have additional goals that you want to accomplish throughout the evening.
I'm realizing I've given us a lot of quests.
Yeah.
I keep running around picking up the side quests, and everybody else is like, God damn it, Venehn. The journal is full.
I want to set out as well that there are a lot of people here that I'm about to introduce. I don't normally encourage note-taking or require note-taking, but goddamn note-taking would probably help you a lot during this event. Because there's a lot of NPCs that I'm about to introduce, and there are storylines and things going on here. The game being played that you can probably gain benefits from, things you can do or ignore entirely. I've written a lot for this that you may just never interact with, but everybody here has a reason to be here and is here with their own motivations. But the rules for the night. You're arriving at 6 p.m. at sunset. The ball ends at midnight. We are going to be playing this out over the course of in hours. So we will be playing out the hour of 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. So you have 6 hours in total. You will all be allowed to take either together or separate one action per hour. You tell me what it is that you're going to do during that hour. That's what you're going to be doing. That could be speaking with somebody. That could be investigating something. It could be checking out different parts of the palace, because there are different areas of the palace that you can go to and attempt to get access to. But all of the NPCs have specific places that they are going to be throughout the evening and things that they are going to be doing throughout the night. So if you are not in at the right place at the right time or following the right NPC, you miss things entirely. There is an additional sort of option here that you can take to do an additional action per hour. So you do your one thing and you decide, I want to push it and try to do something else. With each additional action that you try to take, there's more chance that you are going to be noticed, that people are going to notice that you are playing the game, because part of the game is to avoid people knowing that you're playing it. That's how Orlais works. If you attempt to take an additional action during an hour, you're going to have to make a communication etiquette roll. The difficulty for that check is depending on the hour. So I'll give some examples. At 6 o'clock, it's going to start at 13. 7 o'clock, it moves up to 15. And then at 9 o'clock, it moves up to 17. And then at 10 o'clock, it moves up to 19. So it's going to go up as the night goes.
I thought it would be easier as the night goes because people get fucking wasted.
No, it gets
people
harder.
have seen you out and
People
about.
are used to you. It will drop off a little bit after 10 o'clock for the last hour. But each one is going to grow more difficult. If you succeed, you get to take an additional action. If you fail, you still can take that action, but you get a point of ire. Which is again a mechanic that I'm introducing for this game. Your first point of ire, you have -1 on social checks for the next hour. So during whatever that check is and the following hour, you will have a penalty for social checks. 2 points of ire, you get -3 on social checks for the rest of the gala. And at 3 points of ire, you automatically fail social checks for the rest of the gala. So the penalty does go up exponentially each time. So if you do not want to get to 3 points of ire because essentially you are a social pariah at that point. Everybody, the jig is up, everybody knows you're playing the game, and everybody's on to you at that point. Does that make sense? Any questions before we
6 to midnight, is that what you said?
6 to midnight.
Okay.
The last hour being
11.
to 12. Yeah, once midnight hits, the game ends. And if you don't have your sword, if you don't have your halberd, your blades, by that point, you're SOL.
Are there any that we know of structured events like, dinner is at 8, whatever,
The
somebody's
Emperor's
gonna
gonna give
come
a
talk at
speech.
10. Yeah.
There are structured events that you know of? No.
So we definitely have to ask around about the.
You might have to ask around on that if you want to learn more about what the plan is for the evening. That would be something good to do during this first hour, because the first hour of 6 to 7 is going to be this gathering outside at the entryway. The castle doors have not opened yet. I'm going to talk about some people that are here for a bit to give you kind of an idea, because your carriage pulls up. And I think you have the benefit of having Arlo here, who can kind of point out who is here, because I don't want that to be part of it, is trying to figure out who everyone is that is at this party. There are a lot of people here. There are probably probably just around 100 people that are present, but most of those people are the retinue entourage of the more important figures that are present this evening. Some of the more important people that you see as this gathered parties around the exterior staircase are tended to by serving staff. They're served drinks, hors d'oeuvres, other things outside of the Winter Palace in the cool evening air as the sun is setting. You notice a couple things as you're pulling up in your carriage and you're being unloaded, as Arlo's kind of taking the lead, and you're all following us his entourage. And what I'm going to also mention here, because I don't think I specified, it is the 4 of you, Arlo and Wolf, are the only people here. Lucia, Ty are not present this evening. It would have been a little much to get a blood mage and a disgraced Templar into this event. You see 2 figures right away that I think some of you might recognize, and The rest of you are told by Arlo. You see Duke Montfort, Montfort, the Knight Divine of the Orlesian Chantry and right hand of the Divine, who is currently speaking. He's an older man in his mid-60s, his receding graying hair, deep-set wrinkles, and that form a kind of perpetual scowl. He's wearing a deep crimson suit with embroidery and a golden chantry pin of an open right hand on his lapel. He is speaking with currently Duchess Janella, the left hand of the Divine, who is a black-haired woman, which is long and braided, covered by a silver veil. She's wearing a silver nightdress accented with royal blue. They are speaking with a retinue of, you can imagine, chantry acolytes, affiliates. There are a few. Actually, I don't think any of the sisters or any of the other chantry like stewards would be there. I think it's mostly those houses and lords and ladies that have allied themselves with the chantry. Currently speaking with a small retinue. There are a few others that those are the ones that I think you would recognize almost immediately. The others, Arlo points out that he has seen at other events and are pretty prominent Orlesian figures. There's Duke Fontaine, who is wearing an ivory mask. He has blonde hair, and he's pretty young. I would say maybe it is like early 30s. He's the cousin to the Empress. He is one of the more active royal family members in Orlesian politics, other than the immediate family to Empress Genevieve. And he tends to sort of hang on at events like this. Not much of note, is just kind of a social creature. There's Marquise Mantillion, who she's wearing a vermilion half mask and has long silver hair. She's the owner of the Blue Rose Shipping Company, one of the major trade companies in Orlais that does trade with most of the other surrounding nations. Sort of near her, but with his own retinue, is Marquis Valmont, who is wearing a plain black mask. He's a young man, and he has a slight limp and walks with an ebony cane. Most of you probably don't recognize them except for Garas. You see this man, and I don't know what your reaction will be immediately, but Marquis Valmont. He hired you as a duelist some time ago. He was the last person to ever hire you as a duelist. He has lots of business in Orlais, and he would know you well. I won't spoil anything else than that. Garas can inform the rest of the party if he so chooses. Those are some of the main Orlesian figures that are here, but there is a large crowd around several other individuals that are not Orlesian, maybe Orlesian, but are not part of the human Orlesian nobility that you immediately notice. You see a trio of figures that are currently fending off a lot of the kind of hangers-on other nobility at the party. One is a human woman, again, probably in her late 20s, early 30s. She's wearing a crimson, almost like a ruby-colored, like suit, like a military garb. And Arlo's points her out as a modest Vale. She is the second daughter of Phaedrus Vale, cousin to the reigning Prince of Starkhaven, and the captain of the Ruby Drake's mercenary company, and a close ally to the other, probably most important figure, most noticed figure, as everyone seems to be paying attention to him, at least passively, is Garahel, hero of Antiva and Grey Warden officer. He is elven, is handsome, and with high cheekbones, curling blonde hair, and brilliant green eyes. He's wearing his Grey Warden officer's sort of attire, and he is being currently tended to by, who also Arlo points out, is his sister, Isaiah, who's a mage of the Antivan Circle.
Can I get the left hand of the Divine's name again? I missed that one.
That you are certainly Duchess Janelle, Jenelle.
And Amadis Vale is the second daughter of who, cousin to who?
Oh, that's not as important, but she's a second daughter of Fedris Vale.
Cousin of the Prince of
Fedris.
Starkhaven.
Cousin to the Prince of Starkhaven, and most important to her own merit, captain of the Ruby Drake's mercenary company. She's a close ally to Garahel since the fall of Antiva, as he is known. I mean, again, he was a warden there, sort of led the evacuation of Antiva when the warden officers fell there, and the royal family was murdered. He sort of made a name for himself there. He is formerly Orlesian, though. Grew up in the alienage in Orlais before joining the Grey Wardens.
And then Isaiah, I caught that she was Garahel's sister, but not much other than that.
She's a mage of the Antivan Circle, or the former Antivan Circle, before it was also annihilated during the attack from the Darkspawn and the Arch Demon and Antiva City. So I've given you a lot. That was a big old lore dump. These are the main players that you're going to be seeing throughout the evening. So right now, for this hour, everyone is, like I said, kind of in their own groups, socializing. The biggest parties are gathered around Garahel, as he is sort of the celebrity here this evening. Again, if you're going to draw the for those of you that don't know who Garahel is and aren't as like very versed in Dragon Age lore, he is essentially the Inquisitor of this timeline. So
Probably the most powerful elf out there.
is like the most famous elf to exist in Orlesian society. Yeah. And this is for those of you that are really up in the Dragon Age lore. He is not commander of the Grey Wardens yet.
Okay.
He's just a high-ranking officer.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if we discussed what our all of our plans for our covers are.
That's something you can talk about right now. I will not make you do a flashback for that. I wanted to introduce this because this might help inform the kind of covers that you want, because some of these people are people that you would have known would be here.
Can I have helped people with disguises to kind of help them just to blend in a bit better, since I have a focus in disguise? So kind of like trying to make sure that Yasmera doesn't stand out too much, or trying to make well, like pretty much. Well, yeah, it's up to you. How would you?
Yaz is
Garas?
going full valet. Yaz,
Okay.
Yaz is going full servant mode. Is going to go back in the kitchens, try to get the lay of the land by listening to everyone in the kitchen. Go, okay, we need this course. Okay, this is happening next. We got to do this. Like,
So
I don't talk to people. I am 6'8" and a obviously Kunari individual.
So then here's my question is then, would, if I spent because like I have a focus in disguise and deception, could I have helped everyone try to not totally erase their normal gaits, their normal mannerisms, but like try to teach them how to walk without being conspicuous, try to teach them how to pretty much learn how to blend in rather than like stand out but blend in but not make them look too obvious kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done some basic training of operating in high, and Arlo could have done this too, like letting you know how to sort of present yourselves, not commit any major social faux pas. The one thing that I'll give all of you too, depending on, like, again, you can do whatever covers you want. Arlo, you are there as Arlo's sort of entourage, and you have been invited to that regard. So if you are there as a guest this evening, you're a guest this evening. People may act differently towards you depending on if being an outsider, and especially not being nobility is going to be the biggest sort of strike in your disfavor. But I don't want any of you to feel like you have to relegate yourselves to not doing anything this evening because you're a Kunari or an elf or something like that. So I just want to put that
basically
out.
I'm just trying to give everyone like some kind of plus forward for like certain checks.
I don't know if I'm going to give you all a plus forward for it, because again, we're dealing with I want that to kind of work moment to moment. But I will say nobody's going to make a complete ass of themselves. I'm not going to be like, which hand are you using to pick up your knife, and then give you a point of ire for picking the wrong one. So I also don't want to get I'm not going to get super racist with all this too, because that'll make me uncomfortable to play a super racist character. So I'm not really gonna do that to that extent. But as far as being inconspicuous, it may be harder to do when you're 7 feet tall.
Valets are where it's at, because you can get set back into the kitchens, and then you can come back as a guest. You can get the lay of both lands. So yeah, go and valet. That's what's up.
Okay, that's easy enough. You can be Arlo's valet. I know, Garas, you're having you're sort of being Arlo's second, essentially his guard / duelist in case somebody pisses him off this evening.
Yeah.
Carter, I was assuming you're more of a social peer, like a friend of Arlo, as you're kind of putting yourself off as nobility, lesser nobility, but still nobility. What rank is House de Cartier, like, as far as titles, landed titles? Like, if we're going by the sort of level, I'll let you know. So you have like Emperor being the highest.
Start from the other side.
Start from the other side. Lowest is like Chevalier or like Dame. It'd be like Lord, Lady, Knights, that sort of thing. Above that is Baron, Baroness, and then Comte, Comtesse, then Marquis, Marquise, Duke, Duchess, and Prince and Princess.
I'm gonna say that my father was a Marquis.
Marquis? Okay.
Yeah.
That would put you
What
on
is that? How does that relate to like Carter, and how does it relate to a cousin? Probably on his father's side.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a cousin to a Marquis, you'd probably fall somewhere in sort of like a Comte titled yourself. You could also be a Marquis or a future Marquis, if depending on your father. I don't actually know if they have like a title for like offspring, because I don't think like a child of a Marquis is a Comte. It's more like you are the child of a Marquis.
Just like first in line for succession.
Yeah. So essentially, you're just further away in the line of succession for the Marquis.
So then, if we'll say that Carter's father was a Marquis, and the cousin that he's portraying, I'm going to go ahead and say he has earned the rank of Comte kind of on his own. So I'm going to go with he was reported MIA or KIA during the Tevinter War, And I'm just gonna kind of play off like the stories of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So you're not too far off of. You're about on the same social footing as most of the guests here this evening. Maybe a little bit below some of the major players who are here, but
I'm the
definitely.
other right hand of the divine.
Yeah, you're the third right hand of the second right hand of the divine. Yeah.
I'm the left foot of the divine.
Yeah.
The third pinky toe.
My left foot.
Do
takes
I
on
need
a
to
whole
explain
new
what the
meaning.
right and the left hand of the divine are? Was that
Left hand is kind of like sneaky operations, right?
That's the
Or am
spy.
I?
The left hand is the
Yeah.
spy master.
Yeah, so the right hand of the divine is like the person who like is like kind of the front facing, like is the one that both kind of takes the point of attending a lot of social events, making any sort of public arrangements, that sort of thing, but also is the one that leads the divine, like can make threats and stuff. I think there's a quote that they use is like, the right hand can both like offer and make a fist and stuff, so they can, fuck you up. I did see the divine is here.
Yeah, I was about to say, Chad had a good one.
Yeah.
So, but that's more like public facing. Yeah, left hand of the divine is kind of backroom, kind of sneaky spy stuff, that sort of thing. That's what they're sort of known for. More of the more nebulous things that the Chantry gets up to.
Okay.
So I know I just throw a lot at you. My big thing for this first hour is, what does everybody want to get up
I
to?
think with
And I didn't get to
Garas.
say what I was doing.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Venehn. Sorry. What is your thing?
Nothing. I don't go.
Okay, Venen's on here.
Venehn goes home, puts up
Venon's
their.
waiting outside the unnamed bar.
Like, where is
His bag's
everybody
like,
at?
It's the scene from Home Alone, and Carter is the mom.
They left me. No.
Venehn in front of the tavern with a sleeping bag and a fishing rod. Like, hey, buddy.
No, I think Ven does want to sort of lean into, I don't want anyone to look at me. So, probably some sort of footman, a handmaiden
Okay.
is more of Ven's style. I don't know, just there to help.
Okay. So another sort of valet
Like a valet,
kind of
yeah. But
situation. Like
Somebody
kind
has to
of-
carry the fan.
Okay. So
somebody
Yaz and-
that can easily, again, like somebody that can easily be sent to go do something, and it's fine.
So Yaz and Ven are more taking like steward valet kind of roles here.
Steward is the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Steward sort of implies a level of like intellect.
It's pretend.
That's fine.
Are you telling me I have to not pretend to be somebody smart?
No, you're good. I just dunked on Ven real
You
hard.
told me I could be whatever I wanted.
You can be whatever you want. Okay, you can be steward.
I know
Okay.
I can't be what I want to be.
I was just
Why am
teasing
I the
you.
only one that's getting dunked on?
Because Ven's easy to tease.
No, he likes it too.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody has.
Cool.
their
You
roles.
tried to skip me, and then when I said I wanted to do something, you said, no, you can't do that because you're an idiot. Cool.
Listen, you established that. As a
Cool dungeon mastering that you're doing.
But yeah, what I love is that Val made the burn, but Val is also the one who's turning tomato red right now.
character. Yeah.
Because you're a bully. No.
I'm gonna take us to break just to get out of this.
You're a bully. You're bullying me.
Which we can actually do if y'all want some time to think about how you want to approach here.
This
But
is probably a good time for a break.
okay, let's do that. So that is the situation. Arlo, sort of leading forward along with Carter and Garas, stepping out of the carriage with Ven and Yaz, who has the secreted away forgery right now.
Yaz will be carrying a couple of instrument cases.
Okay, that is fine. I mean, Arlo is here as a court musician, so that
Yaz
is
the roadie.
yeah. So Yaz in full roadie duties. Okay, you are with Yaz and Ven kind of towards the back, and while you decide, as you have definitely pre-planned, how you're going to approach this evening, let's go ahead and take our break. So, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes when my one of my players is less mad at me, hopefully, and we will pick up with the rest of our session and see how this all turns out. So stay tuned, and we will see you very soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're gonna jump back in. I'm gonna see what y'all came up with during the break, if anything. So I posed the question to y'all once again. What would you like to do?
I didn't come up with anything.
The first thing Garas does is he kind of like takes a step back amongst the others and kind of, well, yeah, he whispers, but it's kind of like loud enough so that everyone can hear, but he's kind of like also listening, whispering to Arlo. Do you see that gentleman over there with the cane?
Oh, yes, Marquis Valmont, I believe.
Yes,
Correct.
right. He was a former client of mine.
Satisfied client?
I wouldn't say that.
Did you steal from him?
No. I was.
Did you murder somebody then pull
No.
him?
I was his second. He hired me to be a duelist for him. And
right.
he like taps his eye patch.
I suppose you lost then.
Yes, it was kind of a bit of an act of. I better not talk too much about it, but yes, he was a former client. It did not go too well for me. I am not sure how he will react to me seeing me here.
Well, the good news is you're here as my second now, so, well, I shouldn't have done anything to say about it. I suppose if he, I don't know, challenges me to a duel or something, then you'll have your chance to prove yourself.
Suppose so. All right, just putting that out there, that kind of connection to that guy.
Let's avoid that as an opportunity.
Yes,
for
please.
this evening there. All right. I need to probably socialize with some people and shake hands, that sort of thing. You all don't have to necessarily stick right with me if there's anything you wish to do. Though I don't imagine most of the fun will get started until the doors open.
Perhaps we should take this opportunity to store your instruments in a safe place.
Well, typically we'll do that once we're invited into the ballroom.
So this will be the best time to get as much information we can about this event, find out what's happening here, schedules for any kind of toasts, important people need to make their speeches.
That would be good to find out.
Arlo, would you care for a glass of wine?
Always.
I shall fetch it for you.
You should sound a little
Are you
more
doing a
excited
Carter
about it.
impression?
It's an excellent Carter impression.
I don't know,
Seems like
Carter
you-
sounds more neutral about it usually. You sound actively distasteful at the proposition of
It's the
fetching me a
eyebrows.
drink.
It gives me a bitter taste in my mouth just to say it, but I think if we want to know the lay of the land and who knows better the schedule for the events than the people that are actually going to be putting them on. So if you'll excuse me, I'll gather your wine and I'll be back.
Well, do be quick about it.
gives a sarcastic. If a bow could be sarcastic, this is the most sarcastic bow you've ever seen.
Like a little, like, over dramatic.
Little
Probably even more so because she's up to 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
I thought we'd have until like at least 8 o'clock before she got this busy.
I know. I was counting for at least that time.
Oh,
In that case, he gives like Venn like 1 silver because they won the bet.
I am being impolite, though, before you go. Yes. Turns to Carter. My dear friend Sebastian, would you also like a drink?
Yes.
And, of course, as my second, Garas, would you like one as well?
Garas just slowly looks over at Yaz. No, I'm fine, thank you. I would like to have my drink later on.
Of course.
You'll live longer.
2 cups, please.
Of course. Her horns point at the floor in how deep this bow is. And
It's
then
even
she
more
turns
impressive
on her
because I think
heel.
your horns point back, don't they?
Exactly.
They're ram's horns. They like go around and then they point backwards.
I was either imagining that or some like wicked JoJo pose where you're just like leaning.
Just like
Amazing.
look, we
Yeah,
already
then
got
Or like
she'll
the boa
immediately-
Hancock point. Yeah.
Immediately turns on her heel and walks toward the kitchens.
Okay, so Yaz's action is going to be interrogating the serving staff.
More going in, asking for the wine, and then just sort of getting the lay of the land. I'm
Yes.
watching, listening. Yeah.
Investigating the serving staff.
Yes.
Okay. The rest of you.
Garas is going to continue being Arlo's second and socialize with people, trying to find out what everyone's plan is this night, if they're, why they're here, try to figure out what exactly is, the usual schedule events.
Okay. So you're going to stick with Arlo for right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm also going to stick with Arlo, and just do kind of what Yaz is doing, just listening to conversations. I'm also occasionally going to use my emotion sense on whoever Arlo might be talking to see if something might not line up with what they're saying. Might as well help him out a little bit while we're here.
Okay. All right. Do that. Then.
I'm going to casually just sort of blend in with the crowd that's around the Grey Warden,
Okay. So Ben is listening in.
where I might
getting
be
information.
even less conspicuous because that's probably where I imagine some elves are.
Yeah. So Ben over with Yarhill. He has the kitchens. Okay. So where do we start? We'll start with Yaz first. So Yaz, you head into the you kind of follow the servants who are coming in and out through like a side passage that you imagine probably connects over to where the kitchens are, where they're serving wine and hors d'oeuvres, preparing hors d'oeuvres. And yeah, it is there's a narrow hallway. There are a lot of like sort of back hallways, back passages here that where the servants' quarters then connects to some of the other serving areas around the castle, so the serving staff can appear where they're needed and then not be seen. You head back following the smells of food, and you can hear the clamor of kitchens preparing the night's meal. Can hear there's a one room that is set aside with sort of the cellar where all of the many large barrels of wine are prepared and being tapped for the night's meals. And I don't think anybody really gives you a second thought as you come back here, because I imagine you are dressed and presented as a valet, and there are others that are doing the same. So, what is your approach here? You're trying to speak as low as possible, just relying on perception?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll again ask for 2 glasses of red wine and then sort of wait in the meantime, looking around, listening, trying to get an idea of what we're up against right now.
Okay. Go ahead and I guess it'd be a perception hearing.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. And that is a double. So 4, 14, 19. And that is a 6 on the dragon die.
All right. If you got
So that would be exploration stunts, perhaps.
Yeah, I would say exploration would
Okay.
You're not really social, you're not really role playing. Yeah, so exploration.
Okay. Interesting. These are fun. Okay. I'm gonna do a this is interesting. I'm gonna do resources at hand, which is choose a focus that you don't have that falls under the same ability of the test that you made. You're considered to have that focus until the time or venue changes. The GM may require you to explain how this bonus arises from your environment and may deny it if it's not a reasonable suggestion.
Okay. What are you thinking that you want?
Well, I actually don't have a focus in perception hearing. It's in seeing. But given that I am in here with a bunch of people who've done this a million times, sort of shouting around orders, talking about certain individuals, naming some of the, the people that work with the major players, things of that nature, that might help me to hear some of those names or those ideas when I'm out and about in the party.
Okay. Debating on, because you have that until the time or menu changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm debating whether you would just have it. So you would have it if you wanted to take a second action this scene, essentially.
Okay. Then I can maybe also do. Okay, can I also spend that maybe on an advantageous positioning? You make your discovery from an advantageous position of your choice. That position cannot be more than 2 yards from the place that wouldn't normally lead you to your discovery.
Okay, so you're getting both of those, resource hand and advantageous
Yes.
positioning. Okay, so let's do your first check here, your first action. So you sort of blend in with the servants here and or ask for them to prepare you two glasses of wine, which they immediately start doing, and you can hear a lot of hustle and bustle and running back and forth, and a lot of people kind of shouting and talking, and you hear a few important things. I think mostly marking like the events that are going to be taking place tonight and kind of when to expect. And you hear somebody shout or asking in the corner. There's a couple of servants talking. They're saying the Empress is supposed to arrive at 8 o'clock is when she'll be making her appearance at the ballroom, so make sure you're prepared. Her drink and aperitif to be prepared and on the balcony when she arrives with the guard. Everything needs to be in place before she gets there, but not too far before, so nothing gets cold. And the servant is nodding for saying, "Okay, I'll get that already." And they sort of scatter off, getting ready, and then somebody else in the kitchen shouts and says, "All right, everybody, hurry up! Dinner's at 9. Dinner's at 9. We need to start getting things ready." And start preparing again fully in full swing as they have 3 hours until the until the dinner is served. So I think those are the two main events that you get from your initial listen. Is that it seems that, and the doors are supposed to be open at 7. You have an hour essentially out here in your like reception. So that outlines a lot of the evening for you. Doors will open at 7. The Empress is supposed to arrive at 8, and the dinner will begin at 9. So that is your one action. If you want to take another action, you are going to have to roll.
No, I'll hold on to it, but yep, I'll allow you to put me in whatever my advantageous position would be.
Make your discoveries an advantageous position of your choice. Thinking about how that would play out here.
Turns out they keep the Empress's points in the kitchen.
Yeah, all the blades are kept in the kitchen.
Hey! They're in the ice chest. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I know what we can do. This will probably add on a little more information to this. So, yeah, I mean, I think your advantageous positioning. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna give too much here. Your advantageous positioning is that where you're at in the servants' quarters, you get a pretty good layout of seeing like everybody moving in and out the different passageways that leads out from here and where they're going. So the advantageous positioning I'm going to give you here is that you get, while you're waiting, a good sense of how the servants' quarters connect to the other areas of the Winter Palace, so that if you needed to move through here to get somewhere else quickly, you could. That sounds good.
Love it.
Perfect. So that is Yaz. Eventually returns with the drinks, but that is Yaz's action for this time.
Relays this information to the group.
Yeah. While Yaz is doing that, Venn, you're going over to the crowd that's around the Grey Warden, Garahel, and as well as his sister Isaiah and Amadis Vale. They're currently in conversation. Garahel has a drink, and you can immediately tell as soon as he's talking. Again, very handsome elven man, and has a lot of charisma, just sort of keeping everybody like on their toes as he's regaling a story and is talking about like the siege of Antiva and the dark spawn forces that were attacking. Somebody's asking, it says, is it true that they're 17 feet tall and breathe fire or something? And he says, no, that's stupid. But yeah, so go ahead and make your what check are you looking for here?
So Venehn, when he sort of makes his way into the crowd, puts on the look of like, I'm saying this because it's very personal to me, but sort of like relies on the fact that he looks a bit younger, and the aura of the very shy kid in class who knows the answer and wants to say it but can't. That's me from most of my schooling. Just sort of exudes that energy because he knows that will make teacher look at him.
And so somebody, what check do I want to make here? So essentially, you're trying to like get the attention or like get the like some sort of favor of Garahel to like.
This is like the shyest fanboy.
Senpai notice me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's do.
Because I don't also know why he's here.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I have deception. I don't know if that.
I'll give you deception on that. You're playing again. It could be between deception and performance. you're essentially trying to the benefit I'll give you there is like tricking those. So you're trying to trick him into noticing you, into talking to you
with a big personality lie.
Okay, yeah. Do a deception communication roll.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I rolled 10, 19.
Okay. Any stunts?
No stunts.
Okay. I just want to make sure before we
No
we start.
stunts.
No, it's a really good roll. So
Just charisma.
somebody asks. Somebody, one of the nobles that are there says, "So, what is the current state of the wardens now that they've been forced to retreat from Antiva? What's the plan with the blight currently ongoing? Is it truly as bad as everyone's saying?" And you can sense a bit of like nervous apprehension amongst the crowd when the question is asked, and Garahel says, That's a difficult question to answer. I wouldn't. The wardens have this in hand, though. I don't wish to downplay our current predicament. Our forces are significantly diminished, and that's why I'm here tonight. Is to speak with the Empress and to present our case for needing support from Orlais and houses such as yourselves to better our cause. We have a lot of people offering supplies, funds to assist us, but without people to fight this war, to join the wardens, to join our cause, well, there's only so far we can get. And he notices you, Venehn, and kind of like locks eyes with you for a second, noticing you're kind of out of place for the rest of the group. And he says, and I would urge anyone here, somebody like yourself. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Garas.
Oh, I love it. Garas, of course. Garas, you seem. Are you trained to fight, or have you had any combat training? You don't seem. Pardon my assumption, but you don't seem noble.
No. My dad taught me how to shoot a bow.
Right. Well, Garas, don't you want to protect your people, your land, your country here?
Of course.
Well, see, we need people like you, people like many of you standing here to help. To I know joining the Wardens is a daunting proposition, and there are many demands that the vows take and that the oaths take, but there is nothing more important than stopping the blight. If we don't, everything falls. As we saw in Antiva. And somebody else kind of chimes in and says, but the wardens were there. You were there and you couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop them from slaughtering the royal family. How will things be any different, even with more numbers? Should we not turn to other means of ceasing, of stopping the blight, other than the processes and the training of the wardens? If we've already seen that it failed, and Scarehell gets a bit kind of quiet at that point, especially as they discuss the royal family, and actually his sister Isaiah steps in. She says, "The wardens fell because we were not prepared. We did not have the backing we needed. Antiva was divided when the blight came, and I think it speaks as a word of warning to everyone that we cannot allow Orlais or for Eldon or even to Vinter to fall to the same fate. And there's some gasp there as people, she mentions to Vinter, and many people there muttering that it might be better for the Blight to take to Vinter. And she says, nobody benefits when the Blight takes any land, whether it be to Vinter or Orlais. If we don't unify to end this incursion, this may be the last Blight that we see. Not because we succeed, but because we fail. And there's a bit of like kind of somber silence there at that. It's debating anything else. I think the crowd begins to disperse, and you see Amadis come over to Isaiah and Garahel, and Amadis sort of says, probably should speak with others and see if there's anyone else that may listen to your speech, Garahel, before we head into the ballroom and things begin. And Garahel gives a nod, but before he moves off, he moves over to you, Venehn, and like claps a hand on your shoulder and says, I'm sorry for calling you out like that. I wasn't meaning to put any pressure on you, and just, it's part of what we're doing here.
No, of course. It just looks so awkward. Could I ask you something?
Oh, sure.
Would you sign something for me?
Would I sign? Sure.
Sorry, I'm a big fan.
I'm just a warden like anyone else. I don't really enjoy the hero month, but sure. I put you on the spot. It's only fair that I return the favor. So, yeah. What do you want me to sign?
Just give him a piece of parchment.
All right. To Garas. Best wishes, Garahel. Hands it back to you.
Thank you so much.
And I did mean what I said. We need people like you. If you have any interest in joining the Wardens, come find me.
Okay.
And he heads off, dragged away by Isaiah and Amadis.
Folds that up, puts it in an inside pocket. Now I know what that motherfucker's signature looks like.
Damn.
Go back to my fake boss, Arlo.
Okay. Okay, let's do the scene with Garas and Carter and Arlo. I'm thinking about who on the guest list here Arlo is going to approach first. Isn't going to go straight to somebody super important. I think he approaches Marquise Mantillon, the owner of the Blue Rose Shipping Company. She is currently speaking with a few others, and Arlo comes over and says, oh wait, what is the title for Marquise? Oh, yeah, it comes over and says, Your Grace, it's a pleasure to see you here again. And she turns and under her mask gives a smile to Arlo and says, Oh, Arlo, it is such a delight to see you here. I didn't know you'd be attending the ball here tonight. And Arlo responds and says, Oh, well, of course I wasn't going to miss this. The Empress herself wanted to make sure that I was here to lead the festivities, because what is a ball without, well, the royal musician? And she gives a smile and kind of a sly smile and says, That can't be the only reason you're here, my dear. And he says, I'm afraid not. I have a completely ulterior motive. Of course, I wanted to see you here, Your Grace, and bask in your glow once again. And she laughs and says, You flatter me. And they carry on like that a bit. Before she turns and notices you, Carter, and Garas, and says, Oh, you have a accompaniment for tonight. They don't recognize these faces. And Arlo turns and says, "Oh, this is Sebastian Ducatier." Or no, what is the full name you have? Is that it?
Sebastian Valentin Pascal de Cartier.
This is Sebastian Valentin Pascal de Cartier, and my second for the evening. Garas, are you going by Garas?
Gosh,
Or are you going by Venehn? And we're just gonna fuck with me the entire
yes.
Yes.
Yes, he, as soon as she turns to face him, Garas takes off his hat and gently takes her hand and gently kisses the back of it. Honor to meet you, my grace. My name is Venehn. I am Arlo's second. I'll be accompanying him with this event, providing him any kind of security or, what have you.
She looks back to Arlo. It's a security. Are you expecting to get into any duels this evening? And Arlo laughs and says, "You know me. I can never be too careful what my mouth is going to say next. I'm sure I'll offend somebody this evening, and Venehn here will be put to good use."
Of course, I will never. I hope that it does not come to that, Arlo. I would like to perhaps enjoy this event as much as you are.
He smiles and says, "Oh, I am positive that you will be able to enjoy it in equal measure to myself." And you notice that the Marquise is sort of has glanced off to the side in the direction of Marquis Valmont, who is still speaking with his own. Hello there. Ow, Jesus! Don't
Is that the
scratch me.
Marquis?
Yes, this is the Marquis
He's
Valmont.
he's put on some weight. Oh, buddy.
Oh, look at the Marquis. Look at your grace.
You all right? Okay. Is this where you just want to stay here? All right, that's fine.
That Marquis, he's a hugger.
She looks over that direction, and Arlo sort of catches on to that glance a bit. And actually, I should ask: is there anything that the two of you are doing while this conversation is going on, or anything you want to try to read into?
I am definitely. I will. I will look at Marquis Mintilli and say, "Excuse me, Your Grace, if it is, I apologize. This is, like I said, this is one of my first events in such ages. I'm not too familiar with what happens here. Excuse my forwardness with it, but perhaps you could tell me if there are any kind of special events that are happening, because I would like to keep an eye on Arlo and make sure he does not leans in a little run his mouth, as you would say."
Okay, make a communication etiquette roll.
Would this give me the effect of my daggers?
I need to remember what your daggers say.
Because it says that all communication tests made to influence nobility. +4 to all communication tests made to influence nobility.
Okay, then yeah.
That is. Ooh, I got 2 3s. 15 plus another 5. That's 20.
She gives a smile and says, "Well, I don't know all of their plans for the evening, but I believe they will have dancing, drinks, dinner, and perhaps some debauchery along the way. I don't believe there will be anything too special. From my understanding, there's other matters that are going to be discussed behind the scenes this evening. Is the real reason for this event. The rest of us here are just taking advantage of the festivities.
I see. Well, if there is dancing, I will make sure that Mr. Arlo here perhaps has a spot on his dance card for you, if you would so appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sure his dance card will be very full for the evening, but I will gladly take my part in it. And Arlo says, "My lady, you will be at the top of my card, of course."
And as he says that, he kind of glances at Valmont, and then looks back at her. And once again, I do not mean to be so far, but could you, that gentleman over there, the one with the cane, is he usually around these events?
Unfortunately, yes. Marquis Valmont tends to hang on to many important social gatherings, and you can likely see his face at all of them.
Interesting. Thank you. Like I said, I'm just curious to look who's the faces around here, for obvious reasons.
Carter or Sebastian, is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah, Sebastian would like you to kiss the girl. Sebastian would like to, when Arlo first approached her and she said it was always a pleasure to see him, I wanted to do an emotion check on her there. And then for the rest of the conversation, I'm just kind of observing, maybe using a perception roll to see if their body language or anything doesn't really, Jesus, match up.
Yeah, so let's do what? Perception, empathy?
Sure. I'm equally bad at all of them. 13.
13. You definitely get your first your first look, your emotion check when Arlo approaches. There is a what is the word I would have used? Pleased when she sees Arlo.
Yeah.
So it seems that her response was genuine. For the rest of it, though, as their conversation, I mean, lots of like ups and downs of emotions. There's a bit of like when Garas goes in and like is kind of familiar and kisses her on the hand. I think there's a bit of like reserved, like who's this person, and but Garas obviously ingratiates himself fairly well with that role, and so that sort of dissipates as well. You do. I'll give you the one other thing that comes up as you're reading her. Every time Valmont is mentioned, or she looks over in his direction, there's a clear and strong emotion of disgust.
Okay.
Anything? Well, I guess that's actions from everybody. And I think what Arlo says as they're kind of finishing the conversation is, "Oh, I meant to ask your grace if you have an escort or a herald for your entering the ball this evening, and if I might perhaps usurp that honor for myself." And she kind of clicks her teeth and says, "Well, I do, but I can't imagine having anybody do a finer job than yourself, so of course, the honor is yours." And he gives a bow and says, "I am delighted and excited for the opportunity. I do need to go speak with a few others and make sure that everybody is aware of my presence, of course. I will see you in a few moments. If you would excuse my absence. And she gives a polite nod, and Arlo begins to move away. So everybody has taken an action. Is anybody wanting to push to take a second action? I will mention the two things. This is the easiest time to do it, but also you don't want to gain a lot of ire as the evening goes on. So I will. That's up to y'all.
Remind me one more time on the roll.
Yeah.
So the roll is going to be a communication etiquette
That's right.
roll, and the difficulty right now is 13.
Okay.
Can I use the servants' quarters to find the aforementioned balcony?
The balcony where the Empress is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can. I will have you make that check. The social
Etiquette check first.
Yes, etiquette check first. Because the one thing I want to get across to everyone is you're always being watched this evening. Other than some very specific situations, if you're in the ballroom, balconies, any of the main areas, there's somebody watching.
14.
Nice. Okay, so you do succeed. You can take another action. You do not get any ire. So yes.
Perception, seeing.
Sure. So, I mean, I will describe to you where you go, and then you can do a check if you wish. Because you follow some of the servants as they're preparing things, and some heading up that way, and you sort of gauge where they're going. The servants' quarters, the passages here lead to the ballroom, and you get your first glance at the ballroom before anybody's inside of it, other than the servants. It is a sort of a 2-story ballroom with a balcony sort of wrapping around the second floor. But there is a lower balcony kind of between the upper and the dance floor down below, with 2 sets of stairs leading up to it, and a raised location. And then beyond that, there's a big set of like glass doors, stained glass, like beautiful tapestry that leads out behind it to a balcony which overlook the exterior, the interior courtyard. So that is where that balcony up the stairs, kind of the midpoint, is going to be where the Empress.
The mezzanine, if you will.
Yes, the mezzanine.
Wonderful.
What check would you like to make?
Perception, seeing.
Okay. Sure.
That would be trip 5s.
Nice.
Damn.
So 5, 10, 15, 20 for my perception, plus a focus plus 2. That's a 22.
Damn.
With a
Okay.
5 on the dragon die.
So what is it you're looking for?
I'm gonna do object of your attention, +1 bonus for any further tests to examine or perceive additional aspects of the object of your test. And we'll say speedy search. I want to do this fast.
Okay. What is it you're looking around to see?
The most efficient way to get to and from that upper balcony area.
The upper balcony or the mezzanine where the Empress is
mezzanine
gonna be?
balcony. The one I'm assuming that's where they mean the Empress will be on the balcony.
Yes. Yeah, because essentially there's I should also clarify, there's a set of stairs outside where everybody is currently waiting, leads up to the main entrance. There's kind of an entry hall there, with then a set of which doors open to the second floor with a set of stairs leading down to the ballroom. So you can either be up at the second floor, where there's some small tables, like a standing area, or down in the ballroom where people are going to be dancing and the music will be playing. To get up to the mezzanine area where the Empress is going to be, like the most obvious way is the stairs that lead up from the ballroom. However, that's a very visible way to get up there, and there are currently silk ropes leading across there to bar people from just walking up there. Right now there's no guards in here currently because the Empress isn't here. There's some of the servants that are up there currently going past the ropes and going up there to prepare some things. So that is one option, but obviously would require some doing to get past the guards that will likely be posted there once the Empress arrives. There's also the balcony that leads out to the overlooking the courtyard behind. That's another entryway up onto the mezzanine. And then there's a hall that where the Empress will likely be entering from. Based on your rough estimation of the layout of the palace, that probably leads back to the royal apartments, where the Empress and the royal family lives within the palace. There are some servants' tunnels, halls, whatever you want to call them, that lead to the royal apartments as well. So that would maybe be a more subtle way to go, is to follow those passages leading to the royal apartments, and then coming in from the side up there will also likely be guarded though. So those are a couple ways you could get in.
Does it seem like that might... Yaz is obviously trying to figure out the easiest way to go spy on this meeting with the Grey Wardens and such. Does it make sense that they would go have them in the royal apartments? Or...
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
They would likely not be having it in plain sight here in the ballroom.
Got it.
Yeah. And the royal apartments would be more than just living area. There would be other amenities to the royal family.
Cool. Does this very quickly, very speedily, and makes her way.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
For my etiquette checks to do another action, would my daggers apply to that? Would that because the nobles are watching, or is it because like any guards are watching me?
It is because anybody is watching you.
Okay, so would my +4 pave towards that because it's communication?
I'm at a 50-50 because on one hand, this is probably the best opportunity you're ever going to have to use the daggers for checks. I want to give you the chance to use them. On the other hand, that does give you a very big bonus to it.
Give
I'll
them
say
a +2 instead. Oh.
I'll just say sure, because
Okay.
like I said, this is probably the best opportunity you're ever going to have to use these daggers. So
Okay, in that case, I would like to go to speak with Duke Fontaine and try to end because
the
they
cousin
seem
to the Empress.
yeah because they seem like because they look like someone who's here to party kind of thing. So I'm trying to find out what is the various events and see if I myself can get into any of these events so I can be in the nest of these people and get any information that I can.
Okay, so like trying to ingratiate yourself to Duke
Yeah.
Fontaine, like, hey, party boy, I'm here to party too.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Okay, go to make your etiquette check first.
Okay. That's a 14 on the dice plus 9, so that is 23.
Damn. Okay. Then yes, you succeed. You move over to where Duke Fontaine is standing, kind of speaking with a few other people. Is clearly already a few glasses in at this point, and is talking very loudly, and says, "I keep telling my cousin that we need to have more events like this. I don't think we're fully utilizing the Winter Palace for these sorts of festivities. I mean, why do we even have it if we're not going to be using it?" And a few people just like standing around, like just nodding, like, "Yes, of course. Please get me out of this conversation." When you approach, what do you do? How do you approach?
As soon as they have that kind of like look of like, "Please get me out of this conversation," that's when he steps forward. Yes, I hear that this place is very fit for such parties like this. If you don't mind asking me, it sounds like you are the type of person who knows what's going on around here party-wise. Maybe you could let me in on some of these party antics.
Okay, make a party antics. Make a what are we doing? Communication, persuasion.
Okay.
Party rock antics.
I got that is 19.
Okay.
No stunts.
No stunts. Without looking, he says, "See, this is what I'm talking about." Turns to you and says, "You, Duke."
My name is Venehn. I am the second.
Duke Venehn here is exactly
Does not correct him.
the sort of person that we should be having here. Yes, you, sir, and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "You and we're going to show these stuffed shirts exactly what a ball should be."
I am looking forward to it. What is the first thing we should do around
Drink is what we should do. We should drink more wine. You serve it. More wine. Like pointing to like one of the nobility over there, and they just kind of look, and then one of the serving staff steps in and says, "I'll get it," and they go to fetch some wine. You and me, we're going to stick together. You're my new best friend for the night.
I am honored. I did not expect that I would be drawn into such high class nobility as yourself.
Well, as a fellow Duke, I'm sure that you're more than capable of keeping up with my sharp wit.
I don't think I could, but you know what? I will definitely follow your lead.
I doubt that there's anyone here as intelligent as Duke Venehn.
This is the fucking best.
He's drunk girl in the bathrooming you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like to an extreme degree.
Garas is just going along with this, and the way Garas goes along with it is every time someone gives Garas a drink, he hands it to the Duke. He just passes it right to the Duke. Doesn't take a sip, just passes it right along to him.
Perfect. I have like so much text on what everybody is trying to accomplish here and everyone's goals, and Duke Fontaine is just to get schwasty all night. Just you've already unlocked that. That's the piece of lore that I'm giving you
Good
for
for
the
him.
evening.
Good for him,
So awesome. Your benefit here is you're now Duke Fontaine's best friend for the night. So,
Okay.
for
All
better,
right.
for worse.
Okay. That's all.
Whether he knows anything, you aren't sure because he doesn't stop drinking.
I am
You
totally
can ask
fine
it.
with this.
You might be able to get some more information from him if there's anything you want to ask. But
I think right now he is just trying to get him nice and sloshy before he
he's well on his way.
yeah.
Dude,
If not
it's so
there.
early.
Oh yeah.
We're not even inside yet.
You're not even an hour in at this point. You gather he was probably pre-gaming before this started. But yeah.
Does royalty have a happy hour? Because he's like really really taking advantage of it.
He is.
Is he played by Dudley Moore? Because that's what it really seems like.
Yeah, he has this beautiful like ivory mask that he's wearing, and it's like keeps like almost like falling off his head. He keeps having to like ride it as the night goes on.
Great.
Perfect. Is that everybody's actions for the exterior? Okay, so at this point, the clock chimes, and you hear the bell chiming somewhere in the citadel beyond, signaling that the hour has passed. And there is a creaking noise as the doors open to the entryway, and one of the criers steps out and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you would, proceed in an orderly fashion at your own pace into the entry hall, and we will announce everybody into attending our ball here tonight. Drinks and food will continue to be served inside. Please enjoy." And people begin to ascend the stairs as I'm going to give everybody, and kind of what we're going to do is I will give everybody an opportunity to like recollect at the end of the hour each time, so y'all can reconvene with Arlo with all the information you have obtained. If you would like, if there's anything you want to do as we close out our session here tonight.
Garas will go over to casually walk into stride with Arlo, matching his stride, and he says, "So I am now a duke and the best friend of Duke Fontaine. So that happened. I will be taking advantage of that to my best interest, and perhaps get any kind of information I need."
Arlo nods and says, "Congratulations on the promotion."
Thank you. I
Your
might regret it
Highness.
a little bit. When he says that, he's like, "Yes, Your Highness."
Well, I suppose you should head inside.
Yes, I will. And he stops like, "Should you announce me, or is it
I'm not going to oh god, I can't think of it. I'm not going to perjure myself in front of all the Imperial Court, but I doubt Duke Fontaine will even notice, as Duke Fontaine is like ascending the stairs, really one strong hand on the rail as he's heading up.
Yes, I don't.
One of the serving staff is like behind him, just like waiting, just to make sure he doesn't fall.
Yeah, I don't think he'll notice." And he kind of like walks in a little bit ahead of Arlo to kind of like have a nice little equidistance between himself and Duke Fontaine.
So the rest of you, I suppose the evening's getting started. I'm going to be very busy, obviously, with my duties as court musician, so good luck. Let's have everything together for a speedy exit by midnight. And you all ascend the steps towards the entryway and into the Winter Palace for whatever waits you inside. And that's where we're gonna end our session for tonight.
3 more hours. 3 more hours.
I've been playing a lot of Hitman lately, and this is the exact vibes. Like, I feel like this is just like perfect preparation for this.
Oh, we should definitely put somebody in the giant industrial grape squeezer.
Yes. You
I will
gotta
say
play
start-
Inquisition. This is a whole mission in Inquisition where you just go to the Winter Palace and have to do shit.
I will say this was the hour 6 was where the least was going on, giving you all a chance to get your feet wet. There's the rest of these events have a lot more interactions that are going to be happening between the major players, and we will be ready for. I just want you all to be ready for that.
So excited.
So good. So, and keep track. Oh no, none of you have any ire, so we're good. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap things up for the night. So, y'all do. We have plenty of time to do our stars and wishes. So I'm trying to end on time. Let's go around the table and do those. Who wants to go first?
I won't go first because I know everybody's gonna want to steal this one too. I gotta give a double star, one to Garas for concocting the character, and one to Val for portraying him. Because Garrus's dad is freaking awesome, and I want him to be my dad. Well done, both of you.
I told Val I wanted an enigmatic former duelist that is just like Zappelli, and they nailed it perfectly.
Yeah, I as soon as you told me that, I was like, you're gonna have to fight him for the sword.
Perfect. It was perfect. You caught me off guard with that, and I loved it.
Awesome. Sita, do you have a wish?
Man. Goodness. I don't know. You're giving me everything I want already. I don't know if I could wish for more right now.
Well, if you come up with a wish, let me know.
All right.
I will take that as a compliment. Awesome. Well, thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
My star is going to go for the whole session to Yasmera in her fucking element. Absolutely killing it.
Is what she
Mission
do.
Impossible music in the background.
Yeah, it's just good. It's just good.
It is good
So you're
stuff.
doing the thing she's good at. And maybe enjoys.
Yeah.
As much as Yasmera can enjoy anything.
No one is perceiving her, and she's getting the job done.
Yeah, she's having a great
enjoying
time.
herself.
And I love that for her, and I love that for the rest of us, because it means we're learning a lot of things. My wish is for Venehn to accidentally end up dancing with a very important person.
I was making
I want
note
him
of that.
I want him to dance with Garahil. I want it to happen.
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
needs to smooch Garahil.
I was like aiming. How could I get Ven to dance with the Empress?
I will take either one.
That Garahel is definitely more possible, plausible. I would say. That's a good wish, though. I will write that down. Thank you, Van.
I got mine.
Kate.
My star goes both to Van and to Wally for switching names. I fucking died as soon as Van said Garas. That was...
It's hard to come up with
Perfection.
other names when
It is.
when these ones are just right there in front of my face the whole time.
Yeah.
It's very fair.
And it worked out as it's canon. That's what they do on the regular.
Next time, just call each other Van and Wally, and it'll be
Yeah, if you had just been
fantastic.
like, my name is Wally.
Because no one can tell me and Wally apart. It's impossible.
No, we can't. It's impossible to tell us apart.
100%.
Twins.
And twins!
My wish is to get out of getting in trouble in some capacity by having a tryst with Wolf in the corner.
Yes. Yes. Let's go.
It can be a pretend tryst,
No, it's
Uh-huh.
not pretend. It's not pretend.
but if it wasn't pretend, that would be fine too.
Yeah, I didn't really have Wolf do anything, but that's just kind of classic Wolf.
You know Wolf.
Perfect. All right. Oh,
That's me.
need to write that down. Tryst. Yes, tryst with Wolf to avoid consequences. All right.
Probably
Well, I
leave the
think-
last part off.
Just in general, it's fine.
My star. Oh, it's. I gotta give it to Sid because just echoing what Van said, I love Super Spy Yasmera. It's because it's so good because like we all have our goals, but this is like Yasmera's element, and it's one part that she's like in her natural element, but also I really enjoy any moment where Yasmera has to like seeing her express an emotion because she's obviously frustrated with this. Like I love any moment where Yasmira's armor cracks, and this is one of those moments where she was like, fuck this, I hate everything about this, but it has to get the job done, but really fuck this. And I loved it so much. The sarcastic bow was just great. And I'm now regretting that Garas didn't just took advantage of it a little bit. I'm kind of regretting that, but he probably will later on.
He would have gotten his wine spilled on him.
Yep, I'm certain of that. My wish is I definitely want a moment where Garas has to escape a room of debauchery.
Oh man, I was like, I've got a plan for some shit now. I wasn't really expecting. It's like, hey, I'm looking for party antics. And I was like, all right, what does the Orlesian nobility get up to in the back rooms of the parties that they have? That's never addressed in Dragon Age, so...
Pretty sure you can assume the same sort of stuff we got up to in the first couple seasons of Elegant.
In Elegant Suffering, yeah,
Yep.
it's just gonna be orgies aplenty.
Like I definitely want that, and also maybe a moment where Garas has to encounter Duke Valmont, because I feel like that's going to happen. He's either he will
At the orgy or before?
I don't know if it's at the orgy. Oh my gosh, if it's at the orgy, because I already think this guy, no one wants his ass here. So like deep down I kind of want Garas just to encounter him, and that he has to like keep up this appearance of Duke Venehn in front of him until like he calls him out, and like, well, it's gonna get to this point. He's gonna try his best not to expose himself to him because he really wants his family honor back. And this is the guy that took it from him. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna come to a head of this in this event, and I really want to see that happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know
Bonus.
that I put this guy here, that you're gonna have to talk to him at some point.
Yeah.
Bonus star to Val for Duke Venehn. Just...
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yes. I
That
love
was-
Duke Venehn so
that was
much.
pure inspiration of, well, you're talking to him, so he's gonna assume you're a duke.
That was so good.
Love it. All right, I think it's everyone, right? Everyone got their wishes and stars and all that good stuff. Okay. Well, that's gonna be it for this evening, everyone. Thank you everyone out there for watching. We will be back next Monday to continue our game here, and continuing. We're 1 hour down, 5 more to go. So we've got a lot of party to get through. And I'm very excited about that. Join us in the meantime for our shows throughout the week. Tomorrow for Squire Squad at 8 o'clock. They're going to be playing Masks, finally getting back to it. And then we'll be back with Elegant Creatures on Thursday. So we're getting finishing up our last mystery, that group. So it's going to be a lot of shit happening. A lot of vines.
There was a fire.
No, there what? No, there was. Was there an actual fire?
Yeah, there was an
Yes.
actual fire, and
Okay.
then you
The
lied about a
monitors
fire.
exploded on stage.
I remember I ran in screaming fire. I didn't remember.
And then there was an actual fire.
And then there
Yeah.
was an actual
Yeah.
fire.
I screamed fire without knowing that there was a fire, and
Yep.
then yeah.
It's
Okay.
like she's psychic or something.
right.
Ignoring the
Finally.
fact that the only reason you could run out of the room screaming fire is because I saved your fucking life. And I'm now trapped in there with a bunch of people who want to kill me.
You're good though. They think you're an owl.
No, actually,
So-
I think she's right now. She's Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I'm a crow right now.
But I think you were an owl.
I was an
She
owl.
was now.
And I turned into
Oh.
a crow and flew into the window.
Oh right.
There were multiple birds.
lot of
It's
burps.
fine.
So
Well, there were 2 birds.
That's multiple.
multiple?
Yeah.
that is multiple birds. It's more
I
birds
see
than I
how
can keep
much my
track of.
life-saving antics made an impression
Made
on
an
you.
impression.
All I remember is cute pudgy owl stuck in the window. Just squished. I love it. All right. That's going to be it, though. Like I said, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you to my lovely cast for being awesome and for diving into this head first, because it's probably going to get more ridiculous from here with the shit that y'all are already getting up to. So, and hopefully you actually accomplish your job along the way. We will see everyone same time, same place next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.